Why can't you see? So locate, stand straight, and take aim. Let's gun is in my hands now, and I can't pull the trigger. I aim and then I fall down to my knees. The bullet's in my hand now, and I can't load the chamber. 'Cause that's what you'll remember of me. Remember carefully. The gun is in my hands now, and I can't pull the trigger. I aim and then I fall down to my knees. The bullet's in my hand now, and I can't load the chamber. Is this what you'll remember of me? The gun is in my Is this what you'll remember of me? The gun is in my Is this what you'll remember of me? Remember carefully.
Well, welcome back, everybody. FSB Racing Friday night from Talladega, Alabama. The site of the beginning of the restrictor plate era. My partner Milty there has got to head off and take care of some stuff before we go. But I'm your host, Shawn for the night. And you see, might as well jump right into it here at the qualifying grid. You got Bill Farmer, the series sponsor, on the pole. Looking good. Brad Otto checking in the chat there, and he sent us these hats. So Milty and I, you'll see tonight, have the matching FSB Racing hats going for Talladega tonight. Moving on through the grid there, Dave Jandry, Brad Otto. Ooh, Brad Otto, speaking of that, yeah. Hooked us up with the hats, and he got himself a nice top 3 starting spot there. He's a Talladega winner on a Friday night. Looking to back that up. Like we got Lorenzo Wangler, Tom Jackson, George Perez, and of course Brad Otto checking in there in the chat. I don't know why it held that emoji comment for review, but there you go. It's passed on through. I see you got the classic 1988 Talladega race shown in the background there. Ooh, Bobby Hillin Jr. Look at that. Ooh, a couple Alabama guys there in that race. This is the first. What's behind me there on the TV? That's the first time they raced Talladega with the restrictor plates after Bobby Allison's accident here in the spring race. And so they came back with the plates on, so cars didn't go through the fence anymore. Now we got Milty back.
See me carrying my beers in there. Yeah, boy.
Milty's got the beers. We're good to go. The Highwayman, Jim Christopherson, puts it in the 4th. Wes Dobbs in 5th. Johnny Doucette, Ed Feller, Daryl Flanagan, Keith Cordier, and Jeff Hale rounding out your top 10 there. Some unfamiliar faces near the front of the pack there, and that's what Super Speedway Racing will do for you. And as you know, it's always a wild card all throughout the race, too. It's wild, it's unpredictable. It's aero and draft dependent. It's Talladega.
Well, and that's the thing, is these are all pro drivers, and but what a lot of them cut their teeth on is this type of driving, and expect the unexpected. You know, we've seen like John the Dog Palmer win the Daytona 500, a full-length race, you know, paralyzed from the waist down, but you know, he wasn't worried about it because he goes, everybody else is going to have to take a leak. I got my bladder bag, you know, so, and, you know, he was just, you know, I mean, that's the kind of cool, you know, stuff that you see. And also, you know, Brad Otto's win last year. Everybody's got a chance here, and, you know, but make no joke, this is the most stressful racing that sim racing that I've ever been a part of. It's worse than like starting the 24 Hours of Le Mans, which they're going to do tomorrow morning at 6:50 in the morning. But man, you know, you're so close to each other, and it's extremely stressful.
Absolutely. There was someone mentioned in a sim racing group I follow on Facebook, and said, "Hey, do you guys sweat when you race?" And people are like, "What, are you crazy?" "No, we're not really in a car, not sweating." And a few people had the same kind of answers I did. Well, there's 2 places I sweat. And it's Bristol, because I'm leaning so much in the corners. I can't help it. I lean to counteract what my body thinks is going to happen to me. And super speedways, because you're bumper to bumper for, you know, an hour and a half here or so. Slightest mistake, it's the pure concentration, start to finish, and a tiny mistake is going to send somebody flying, possibly end your own day. And it's intense, and it's a different. It's not a lesser type of racing; it's just different, and it's a very mental approach.
Absolutely. You know, I mean, it's a craft, and it's something that I did well in sim racing, where I wasn't a very good short track driver. But as something, the super speedway agreed with me for some reason, even though I was stressed out to the max the whole time. I could qualify well, and just like the gosh, I can't remember, where's that trophy at?
Indy?
No, where we run at Coke Speedway.
The Pro Ass. The All-Star Shootout.
That was something with stock cars, no plate, and you just go, you know, balls to the wall, and
that race is cup physics with no plate on
the
3 mile,
45 miles an hour.
Yeah, the 3 mile fictional Coca-Cola Super Speedway. Those cars get up there pretty damn fast. And, about 220, 225, right?
Yeah, you know, qualifying up front, and then, but this race is going to be different. This is going to be, you need teammates, or you need to make new teammates, just like we see when we watch this on real, you know, for real and the real drivers. There's going to be strategy here. There's going to be teamwork. There's going to be
or what DW likes to call co-opetition.
Absolutely, and all of a sudden you gain new friends. Yeah, thanks, Lorenzo, for the happy birthday wishes.
Yeah, yesterday were 2 major birthdays for the world to celebrate, of course, being Paul McCartney and Milt Minter Jr. Which one of those was bigger? I'll just leave up to you.
Come on, let it be, man.
I think you know which way I lean.
Well, you know.
So happy birthday, Milty.
Thank you, everybody.
He's 27 years young, right?
Yeah. Plus 30.
And we got cars hitting the track here for happy hour practice with the drivers meeting over. Our usual admin, Ryan Johnson, taking the night off. He's going out go-kart racing. For real. Him and Isaac got the karts out at the real track.
My co-worker George in the house. Thanks, bud. Thank you, Brad Otto.
Yeah, Lorenzo
Thanks for the
says...
hats, you know.
Lorenzo says Jeff Habbock's running around naked in the drivers' meeting. I think he's taking the Ricky Bobby roleplay a little too far there.
I'm on fire! I'm on fire!
Help me, Oprah
Tom
Winfrey!
Cruise.
Such a stupid movie, but so quotable at the same time.
Absolutely, you know, there's many of them like that, you know. Just real quick, and I'll try not to mention it during the race because this is about the drivers, you know, but really looking forward to and scared to death. We got the 24 hours of Le Mans on iRacing tomorrow, and we're going to have 5 cars and last minute driver changes, team stuff, setups. I've been working out of town, so I mean, I got on the track and ran almost a full stint. I did spin once, but you know, I wasn't really focusing, so I feel like, you know, we got a good shot at it. Probably in our car, the 008, probably a top 15 or 20. And if we can do that, we'll be really excited. But there's nothing like starting that race, man. I mean,
Yeah. Is it a standing start?
No, it's a rolling start with the French fighter planes flying over and the tricula waving and the French anthem, da 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 da, and then you're going 4 wide into turn 1. And may God have mercy on our souls. You know?
Yeah, really.
The thing is not real. You know, my dad did Le Mans 3 times, and it was definitely, you know, the first time he had 3 laps of practice and no chicanes back then. And
yeah, the Mulsanne straight was just a straight.
3.5 miles of flat out in a Ferrari, about 180, you know.
And check out there, following Joe Weaver in that 12 car, the Davey Allison Haviland colors. That was the winner here in 1988. The Alabama native Davey Allison, always a favorite paint scheme at this track. He's looking to bring a little bit of that Davey Allison magic out here tonight. And he was just drafting with Jeff Hale, always a super speedway force to be reckoned with.
Well, and this is the great thing about Talladega is anybody can win this race, they say, but really, you know, not anybody can win this race, but anybody in this field can win this race. This is a pro league. These are pro guys. They are capable of it. You just have to have the right circumstances. You can start from the back, the front. This thing's going to be crazy.
And there is your pole setter and the series sponsor, Bill Farmer, just back from the camping trip there.
From camping trip to pole, yeah.
Running those kind of combination Mark Martin, Neil Bonnet, and Kelly Obro-esque Valvoline colors.
Well, that's a big part of this series is the fact that it is circa 1988 and Aero 88, apropos, and it's definitely, you know, all these guys are huge fans of NASCAR present and past. And, you know, I'd like to say just real quick, too, you know, I like the changes that NASCAR has done recently with all the stuff going on, being proactive. And, you know, we're one world and one team and one people. We need to be like that. And
absolutely. It's long overdue. Some of that stuff was some stuff that drew harsh criticism. I mean, as you know, I'm out here, you know, New Jersey native, lived here most of my life, and I encounter a whole lot of stereotypes about the NASCAR fan. And like, that's not my experience, but it's because of, you know, some of the stuff that's been associated that kind of needed to be left in the past.
Well, you
So-
know, there's nothing you can just put your finger on, but the fact is that they're being proactive to just make a statement of what we're about and what racing is about, and what the people that watch racing are about. It's about the racing, and
It's
it,
about,
you know, and it's we don't want to be associated with any kind of disrespect or racism or any of that stuff, because I mean, the racing I love, Formula One, it's all world stuff, and
absolutely. They're from all over the world.
I do love making fun of, like, guys like Kimi Räikkönen, the way he talks, uh, you know
That's all in good fun.
where's my steering wheel? I need my steering wheel.
Yeah, that actually happened with Dale Earnhardt and Rusty Wallace. They got into a prank war somewhere in the early 90s. And one time, I think it was here at Talladega, Dale stuck a fish under Rusty's seat. And you know how hot it gets going around here. So that car stank after the race.
That's like grumpy old man stuff right there,
But so the next race, they're on the grid. They've done the national anthem. They've done the invocation. It gets the gentleman start your engines, and Dale gets in his car and like, wait, where the hell's my steering wheel? And they're scrambling. Who the hell forgot my steering wheel? Someone go get him back. Go get another steering wheel. Get it quick. We gotta get this thing hooked up. And the cars start rolling off the grid. And here comes Rusty. Or here, I can do it more justice.
And like we're seeing, like Lorenzo saying, he's from Mobile, Alabama. People just want to, support what's going on in a positive change way, and I think we need to, we're excuse me, we're all about the drivers and getting away from everything about this, but I think you should say something. I mean,
yeah, absolutely, and we're all here for what unites us, and that's racing. And we're about ready to get down to this.
And we are, and we need to start talking about these guys because they're pretty good.
Yeah, I've been cycling through as much as I can here. Okay, we're about to take the grid.
Drivers, to your
So, predictions are kind of pointless here at Talladega.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
the big one.
I'm going to make one anyway.
Yeah, go ahead.
And, I'm going to go with the 06 car. Yeah.
You're going to go with the pole setter. All right.
Absolutely. I'm going to give him the kiss of death here.
Lorenzo wants to see the 101.
Absolutely.
There he is.
The 101 has
That
made
Coast Guard
so
car.
much work, has done so much work to get where he's got. Only a few years in sim racing. And
Well, a few years returned to sim racing, at least.
But at this level, it's completely different,
And don't forget, he's got intermittent use of his right hand with an injury to his shoulder. Kind of pinching a nerve there.
Start your engines.
Man, you know what?
I think Bill Farmer needs to get a good start here and stay out front. And then, in my experience, when I've won these races, that's what I had to do. I couldn't come from the back. I never could get there. Things just kind of... But when you got the pole, that is your golden opportunity to win this race. And you have to execute. You have to defend low. Keep that low line down. And if they get by you on the outside line, then you have to still stay in that low line unless you can pull out. Because the main thing is going to be that first pit stop. What are these guys going to do? Now, you can run it out.
Major connection issues for Keith Cordier there.
You can run it out, or you can pit a little bit early. Generally, like Larry Mack would say, the tendencies for these FSB races, I would say, without any paperwork in front of me, they generally run clean this first stint. Then after the pit stops, all hell breaks loose. So if that changes, so be it. But what that means is you got to execute that first stint, no matter where you're at, get down low and get in have an excellent pit stop and get out with cars, because draft is everything.
And apologies for setting a poor example, constantly touching my face here. I know you're not supposed to do that in this quarantine season. I think I've got a cat hair up my nose.
Man, you know, I mean, it's...
I think a rogue cat hair has blown up my nose from my fan here, and it's driving me insane.
Absolutely. It's...
Well, I'm going to go with Double O Dan, my teammate. He's a proven Talladega winner. In fact, he snookered me here at Talladega in my first championship season. And,
Come on, James.
yeah, he's got the Super Speedway Series point lead. He's going to kill me for putting the jinx on him, but Double O Dan.
That's what we do. We have the power. We have the force.
And we are about to get down to it, Master Yoda.
Well, as Yoda would say, boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
We're looking for a clean start here as the 06 car of Bill Farmer leads him into turn 1. We'll get that nice wide spectator camera view. Now, we had a last-minute track switch here. We were originally scheduled to run the BR version, but we were having some setup issues with that. So we switched it back to the NRT 500. This is a smoother one that we use in the Super Speedway series and the Truck series. And hopefully we'll see some good two-line action here. It's provided some great racing in the past. Things to keep in mind, the yellow line rule very much in effect here, even though this is 1988 look. We still got the modern rule of not passing below the yellow line. Now the draft is, of course, key. Bump drafting is legal, but not everybody likes it, and you definitely don't want to do it in the corners, and certainly not, probably not in the short shoots either.
Yeah, drivers to note right away. Jim Christopherson looking for the lead.
Oh, you!
Oh, boy,
wow!
Really close there with Fowler, but no harm, no foul, no blood.
Man, you couldn't put one of Milt's empties between those two cars, but they made it stick.
Dave Janry, veteran in the 51 car. That's old school. Oh my
the
gosh.
Jolt.
And the 51 car was Dale Senior's best buddy there. Gosh darn it.
Neil Bonnet drove the 51 in his final attempt at a race.
Brad Otto, Fresno, California. Thank you for the ads. U.S. Marines. We seen him win Daytona. Can he win Talladega?
I thought it was like, oh, we got the 90 car around to the inside. Keith Cordier, Jeff Habbick. Several cars piled up. Joe Weaver, Will Farmer.
Yellow is out.
Major
Racing
crash
back
in
to the
turn 3 and
line,
4
they're
here.
Still deucing and dagging. Back it down, boys. Okay, the Larry Mack trends are out the window here. We got a caution right away. How about the 66 car there? Wonderful paint. That's badass paint job right there. And this dude, Wes Dobbs, is... I think he's ready to put himself on the map here. Let's see.
Well, we got a look here where this started. It seems to have been centered around the 90 car, that bullseye Benny Parsons ride. And just got a bumper grab off Jeff Hale there. And then it's on, we've got, oh, Dan Jones is heavily involved in that. Serious kiss of death striking there on just lap 3. Engines expired immediately for the 90 car. For 25. Black smoke from Den Francisconi in the 16.
Madera, California, man. Coney.com is, oh my God, those guys are going into the catch fence. Who was that in the Lowe's car?
That'd be the 25 of Keith Cordier.
Keith Cordier is, you all right, son? And he done. He's in the in-care center.
Oh, now you're doing it on purpose.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's ride on board Den Francisconi here. See what he saw. See, he's hanging out at the back of the pack, just trying to keep the car safe.
This is Dan's best opportunity here.
Oh, the track was just blocked solid in front of him.
He has no chance here.
Looks like 00 Dan retired on the spot. 007 is out. So much for my pick.
Well, he's about to get him, shaken, not stirred. He was definitely shaken and stirred in this one. Sconey trying to slow down at 190 plus miles an hour, and Sconey does the bunny hop and the pea patch. They're going upside down. That'll make your sticker pecker.
Here, we'll take a look at what happened to Dan Jones getting in this. See, it was all right in front of him, nothing he could do.
Q-Brats told him to bring it back in one piece, and
I'm afraid that's just not
gonna happen.
Not happening. So several.
Oh my gosh.
Several very good cars, very strong cars taken out in that one. Matt Stewart was at the epicenter there. Obviously Dan Jones is out.
Bullseye car got exit stage left, came back. Oh my god.
Steve Weber, Rick Castle, Alex Jarvey. Yeah, Jeff Havoc. Nothing he could do about that.
Cars in the back there missed that. They're starting back there for many reasons,
and you see the 3 car of Mark DeSenza just stopped, and that's what you should do. He just came to a stop and drove through it, and he's okay.
especially when you're back farther like that. I mean, you see smoke. Smoke is fire, and you need to slow down. You can't, Days of Thunder is that's a movie.
Oh, sorry, Kim Wright. Kim Wright turning in just now to see her man Tower, Jeff Havoc, get caught up in that one. I don't know how hard he hit. We didn't focus on his view there, but he's definitely going to have some nose damage from that. See, there is the 101 Coast Guard machine. I can see a bend in the rear. You see that gap? See that gap right underneath the bow tie of the Chevy?
Not good.
That's not good. That's an air scoop right there. So he should probably be okay as long as he can stay in what I call the pocket. You got a car in front and a car behind. He might be able to keep up in that situation. Now with these truck physics, if you just keep the sides on them, sometimes it works.
I'd like to throw a shout out there to Chris Landry and Landry's Floor Covering, obviously a family business and family-owned car here.
There we go.
The top 15 right here, trying to, win this race. Definitely, I'm sure he's got lots of fans watching right now and giving him some TV time, some sponsorship time there for Landry Floor Covering. As a tile man, I do a lot of floor stuff, so we probably, who knows, we might have scratched some of the same concrete together. You never know.
I'm trying to check out the cars of Alex Jarvey, Will Farmer, They look like they should be okay on the nose. A little bit of damage to the back end of that Rust-eze 95.
Dougie B, Fox ratings would go up about 150% if you all would do the commentary of the races. Just saying. Thanks, bro.
Those guys have the benefit of people in their ear telling them what's going on, spotting around the track for them, too.
You know, I tried to meet Mike Joy one time, but it was the Monterey Motorsports reunion, and he was actually getting ready to get in the car, and I could see the look on his face. He didn't want to talk
focused.
to anybody. Yeah, so I didn't mess with him. You know, I've been around racing and know that, but that was one of the disappointments there. Just bad timing, you know, but he wasn't being a bad guy. It was just, you could tell he was right in that moment.
He had a job to do. So.
Before he had to put his helmet on. And
Alex Jarvey in the chat says no damage. Man, he went for a slide in that and got no damage out of it, so that's pretty lucky. And a
long way to go here, so.
Will says no texting and driving. Will, you're texting and driving too. Oh, the kids these days, Milty. The kids these days. Well, we got the Highwayman, Jim Christopherson, and that Darrell Waltrip-looking Western Auto Machine, the number 40 car, on the point right now. Wes Dobbs, 66.
We've seen him start to be talked about more and more in these broadcasts, and as he's running more and more in the front and getting, dialed in with FSB and these races, getting more and more comfortable. And, he's got a long list of, he's an experienced driver, and let's see what happens here as the pace car looks like.
Pace car's off, and that long drive down to the start-finish line. Famously put after the tri-oval here, green flag in the air. That was an intentional move by Bill France when he built this track. He wanted to sell more seats down in the short chute.
Absolutely.
So he moved the start-finish line there. And think about how many races over the 50-some-odd years of this track have been changed because of that one decision that was strictly based on ticket sales. How many passes happened in the tri-oval and were completed at that line in the short chute? And Jeff Hale is on the move.
Well, this is his, Jeff Hale is a multiple FSB Speedway champion.
Thorn in my side, and when I've been running that series for the last 5 years.
Strictly a badass, and you do not want that guy behind you. Not because he's going to wreck you, because he's going to pass you,
Mm-hmm. If a car is 6 feet wide and you give him a 6'1" hole, he's in there. Oh, a little side bang in there. 4 wide into turn 1 and 2. They're going to hold it, I think. Brad Otto wisely backs out.
That was the 13 car. Not a hard lick there, but great job by those guys.
I tell you what, if we were still running that BR track, that would have been a huge wreck.
He's also running the Marines colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, United States Marine Corps.
The 31 and the 13 running Marine colors. How about that?
Do you feel faint? Don't die on me, Private. That would break my heart.
I think most people's hearts would be broken if their privates died on them.
Well, and we've heard of Darrell through other.
They're through wide again.
And there was contact almost, maybe there with Wes Dobbs. Wes goes way wide and loses like 5 spots.
Yeah, but he kept the car out of the wall. He's looking for a hole to drop into.
These guys are lying about.
Anybody told these guys there's still like 60 some odd laps left to go here?
I don't know, man. I've won a lot of stuff at FSB, but somehow only got a couple of them and on Friday nights, and those were road courses. The lights get really bright. Sometimes it could get the best of you, or
Sam Young coming out of the pits, and oh my goodness, he almost pulls a Kevin LePage.
The boss down low, slow. Also, the 115 of Dave Ellens down low.
Not sure why.
They must have had some internet issues or speeding penalties that we didn't see.
No, speeding penalty on the caution would have been an end of longest line. He must have had a passing under yellow that caused him to have to pass through. Or, like you said, a disco and reconnect. Yeah, he was only tail end of the lead lap up to that point. But now he is going to be a lap down in the lucky dog spot.
Daryl Flanagan in that 13 car, he's getting a look from the 2 car here. He's got a long list of superlatives like all the rest of these guys do. Pro sim racer. It's not his first rodeo, and he's looking to, blast out here on National Sim Racing TV.
International, baby.
International. They're looking at the highline now. He goes with Jeff Hale. This particular track, we like as drivers the ability for the outside line to develop, and it's developing. We want to race. The original platform with this sim, with the original Talladega track, did not give that to you. The inside line, numbers still are numbers, but now you got guys willing to pull out there and make those numbers on the outside and make a race of it. And you're seeing a race here now. This is kind of what I thought we would see the first run. Wow, Jeff Hale side drafting the 51 inches away from Dave Jandry. That's really, thank God to the physics of this sim.
And the net code.
Yeah, they've worked really hard with this, and it's very good. I mean, that's you can suck right up to them and get that side door draft like you see on TV. When you hear these guys talking about that, and then you're seeing it transferred onto the sim platform here as Jeff Hale gets back in line.
Yeah, the side draft isn't quite simulated like it is in the real deal. But what you can do is just shorten up your line by getting as close as you can to them.
Yeah, because it doesn't punish the car you're side drafting as much as it does for real.
Yeah, in the real racing, especially
really
these days.
Loose, and here it's not going to do that. You're going to get the draft, but you're not going to get the. You're not going to upset those guys to the side of you by taking their air off.
Yeah, and at super speedways, what that does in the real cars, in the current package, is it takes the air that's passing over your car and dumps it on the spoiler of the car you're trying to pass. If you put one of your front corners up to their rear corners, dumps it onto their spoiler and slows them down a little bit. And it's funny. That's not a new thing.
We got the Marine cars together.
That's not a new thing. I was watching a replay of a race from many years ago. I heard Dale Earnhardt casually mention doing it in the 90s, if you can believe it. and then come around, it wasn't until like the 2010s that they actually started talking about that openly on broadcasts and in races.
Brad Oliver needs to stay behind the 13 there and work that outside line. Maybe he's getting a little air to cool his car down a little bit, but that outside line needs to work together.
We got Jeff Habak Tower joining us here in the booth, and you fall out with the damage just too much to overcome there, Jeff?
Yeah, top speed 167.
Oh, that is not going to cut it, I'm afraid. I'm sorry there, Tower.
Well, huge fan base again for you again, and obviously everybody rooting for you, and you've come so far. Just wasn't your night tonight.
Yeah, those super speedways are always a crapshoot anyway, so.
Absolutely, bud.
Come back next week.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
but lest we forget, how much work you've put in, and also some of the physical stuff you're dealing with, and still showing up every week and learning the sim, learning how to be a pro sim racer. My hat's off to you for not giving up and not getting discouraged, and getting great finishes and moving forward, man. I appreciate that as a fan, so I hope to see good luck in your future, bro.
Well, I appreciate the compliments. Thank you, Milt. I appreciate that. And
Absolutely,
hey,
man.
happy birthday, buddy. Happy
Hey,
birthday.
thanks, man.
I'm going to kick back and watch this race, and I'll drink one for you, buddy.
All right.
Absolutely, man. Thank you, man.
Looking forward
definitely.
to seeing more pics of that new pup too.
Oh, yeah. Eyes will be open pretty soon, so.
Sweet.
I'm going to get out here and let you guys do your job here. You guys do a great job, so keep it up, and thank you for everything you do.
All right, thanks for stepping by, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
You guys have a good night. Have a
All right,
good
you too,
race.
brother. All right, that's
All right.
Jeff Havoc in the 101
Well, I
Coast
just
Guard
love-
Chevy.
I love this guy. It's so intimidating to. I mean, you have to have character and the will to want to just have fun and understand what you're up against. And a lot of people don't and behave in the right manner. I mean,
Attitude is everything.
it's a grown man game. It is a sim, but it's a game. But at the same time, total behavior is expected. At the same time,
BTW, back to real racing stuff here. We're 18 laps in. This would be the usual window, but we had that caution on lap 4. So I'd say somewhere in the next 6 to 8 laps,
absolutely.
we're going to start looking for pit stops.
Okay, we got Dog Palmer pitting, so
Well, he's back in that second pack. Actually, he's been off the pace entirely. In fact, we were talking about other things, so I couldn't get to it there for a sec. You notice I'll put the side-by-side back up. We got Matt Watkins leading that second pack. He's in 17th spot.
Mama, here comes that man.
Yeah, well, he's going to need a caution because I don't know if his car has any damage, but those other cars around him sure do. With the possible exception of Bill Yarborough, I don't know if he got caught up in that first wreck, but he's not making up ground back there. In fact, as we spoke, he lost another half second or so.
Well, when you lose that first pack, even if you have a second pack, you got numbers versus numbers.
And the numbers are in the front pack. Because
absolutely.
if he's leading the second pack in 17th spot, that means there's 16 cars up ahead of him.
Yeah, and you will not make the same lap times as that first pack will. It's just not. It's
just not feasible. Yeah, exactly. It's mathematical, and man, we get that scanner up there, Milty. Look for some pit stops soon.
We got some action here. 13 is pitting, 66 is pitting, Ed Fowler's pitting, 3 is pitting, 99 is pitting, 40 is pitting.
All right.
Your leader is pitting.
Yeah, lead cars are pitting. This could be the opportunity for that second pack. If something happens to these guys.
Down pit road, smoking them all the way through the 13.
Woo! He saved it though.
Used this stuff up there and gets down to the line. Wow, Daryl Flanagan, you got to see that pit stop. That was 250-yard smoke show.
Power slide.
Oh my gosh! I mean, but to execute it, I think he got down under the speed. He don't need those tires anymore. Oh, and he missed his pit road a little bit. Has to back up. That's gonna hurt the 13.
Yeah, he's definitely taking right sides. Let's see if those lefts go up. Yeah, left side is up.
4 now. Normally you want to
Yeah.
take 2 and 2 here because.
Yeah, he was probably painted in a corner.
That's smart. This guy's a veteran. He knows, but he definitely used it up on that one.
That's going to cost him dearly, though, as you see those cars roll off before
Absolutely.
him. Front 3 have broken away.
Got to stay in the lead lap here, though. You got to expect. As the leaders come by, You got to expect a caution, and these guys are going to have to stop too. Looking at the scanner, more cars are going to have to pit here.
Yeah, that second pack led by the GOAT.
This is where Matt Watkins makes his hay, makes his money, and makes his championship.
But I don't know if you can make up 12 seconds.
Yeah, you know what, dude, man? Mark my words right here. Do not underestimate.
What he needs these packs to get broken up. He can make up some time on the pit stops. It's true, but he needs more guys to make mistakes so that his pack can stick together. These other packs can fragment, and he can make up some ground. But that just doesn't seem to be happening. You see Dave Jandry, Jeff Hale, current leaders.
Somebody blew up!
Do we have a hand grenade out? Oh, there is a smoker.
Wolf Farmer has exploded on the backstretch.
McQueen has blown up down the backstretch.
Blowing chunks. Come on, son, get out of there. The thing's on fire. Are you kidding me? You know,
well, if he got it down,
team is just, experienced. There's so much potential with that team, and once again, that thing is done as the second pack pits, but he's going to pit for good. On fire. Come on, son. Get in there. Get in that stall. Get out of that thing. Good thing it's not real.
Yeah, so the parts of that lead pack who had not pitted the first time around, they finally hit pit road now. The three up front are the ones who did not top off.
124, Rick Castle, Joe Weaver. Weaver's having a fantastic race here. The 29 gets a great stop with the Tide crew. The 06 still in contention here with a very good stop with that
Brad
pole
Otto
position.
slides out. Brad Otto had
The 06 car is leading that pack. This is what I talked about at the beginning of the race. If he can put all this together, he has definitely got the talent and skill to win this race. And
look how much ahead Hale came out of that pack too. The 29 car. Now here comes those three previous leaders.
Old Spice car, Johnny, you said, didn't he get some damage? I'm not sure there, but the Old Spice is smelling good right now. As the outside pack with Mark DeCinza. Mama, there goes that man.
Yeah, they come up on them with the speed and the momentum. They just roll right around them on the high side. And 58 tucks right in on the Highwayman.
Jumps in front there.
We got Matt Watkins on pit road.
These guys are fine with this, though. They're like, okay, I'm in this draft. And, well, man, Will, are you still coughing, man? That thing was on fire. We got Will Farmer.
No, tough break there, Will.
That thing was on fire, bro.
Yeah, my team has been pretty mean to me lately. A couple weeks ago, they messed up on the fuel calculations. Now I can't get a camshaft, so I don't know what the Rusty's medicated bump Roman team is doing this week, but we really gotta get ourselves together here.
I think the problem is you got that new car sitting in the shop that you haven't brought out yet.
Throw some stuff at the shop and kick something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, who knows? We might just have to get a whole new race car.
You got one. I haven't seen it out there yet.
I don't know if I even heard of this. My team might be hiding sponsorship.
I sent it to you, dude.
Oh, did you? I didn't even see it.
Well, you got great sponsorship. You should have a good motor there. That thing exploding on you is that's got to take you off. That's for sure.
You don't remember the blue Dynaco Rusty's hybrid?
We were working on that.
Yeah, I sent it to you a long ass time ago.
Really? Huh. I gotta run that then. Yeah, I got a car made up from the Pony Express
out front.
Yeah, the Highwayman back to the lead. And look at Johnny Doucette though, just slipped in there. Johnny Doucette slipped in on the tail end of those three cars as they caught up, and has pulled himself around to second there.
Matt Watkins mired in 15th place, going nowhere. Pac-Man is eating himself here right now.
So I'm not sure if you guys know about the fuel strategy. If you guys know about the fuel strategy going on here tonight, but or at least the pit road situations, but Mark DeSenza, Ed Fowler, and I believe the 40 of Jim Christopherson and a few others have pitted 3 laps earlier than the rest of this
totally
pack
old
here.
school. That's what I learned from Rick Johnson back in the day is don't run it out because they don't fill you up anyway. You know, get track position and get draft position, and you're still going to work out fine. So that's definitely old school.
Booth, give me a minute.
Long run thinking there. Well,
yeah, for sure. I had dog in my ear there, but yeah.
well, that's what I learned from Rick Johnson when he became my teammate was like, Milt, just shut up and pit when I pit.
Right, you know, I learned that from Jeff Hale as well. We in the Super Speedway series we run on Tuesday nights here. We run just super speedways every week, and Jeff Hale was always pitting 2 laps before everybody else, and I thought, man, you know what? I should go with that guy because he seems to be winning the races. And then I pulled out a championship from it. So, yeah, I was really bummed out that tonight was, that, you know, it's the super speedway, and I was really excited to come in here and run a good race. But yeah, I got involved in that incident on lap 4. I don't know if you guys caught that. But I actually coming to the line, we were 3 wide there, and I think that was mostly my fault. I really should have backed out of that 3 wide situation. I didn't need those 2 points. But what are you going to do looking back on it now, right?
Yeah.
But look out front here.
Throw a shout out to Jason Dolfer. He's on the chat window of watching the race. Filled that application today, won the race here. Well, you know, pre-welcome to FSB. Horsemanship and desire and, you know, being a good member, those are basically all the requirements you have to have. So we're looking forward to seeing you on the track and seeing you on Friday nights, Jason.
Meanwhile, the second pack is no longer that one with Matt Watkins. That's now at least the 3rd pack.
Yeah, the first
pack is
pulling away.
Second pack is led by Brad Otto here with Dave Jandry, Dave Ellens, Joe Weaver, 66 of West Dobbs, and that 13 of Darryl Flanagan.
The 89 drops back and gets in line with the 06.
You got to wonder there, Milt, is that a fuel strategy? Hey, I don't want to be out front on this high line, or I don't want to be down low on this inside and third. I want to be in the back. Maybe I'll clutch, save a lap or 2 of fuel.
That's the sort of thing I would do.
I mean, when you're in this lead pack at this point of the race, you know you have a chance to win the race. So now it's all about not messing it up. You know, I mean, these are the elite guys. We got spacing, unless you know, we get a caution. Now we have to think proactive to the future, which is you know, how do I beat these guys in front of me? Being in the back of this pack, like the 89 of Alex Jarvey, you can save fuel back here. That's where you want to save fuel. Maybe in front of him, you know, Bill Farmer is going to think of the same thing. Yeah. Because you can lift way earlier and still carry that draft. So, to your point, exactly right.
Not only that, but when you're up here and in this first pack, the last thing you want to do is be the guy to cause the wreck in this front pack and ruin everybody's night. And I know that I've thought, you know what, I don't think I want to be up front here. These guys are racing a little too hard for me right now. Maybe I don't want to be nose to tail. I want to be further in the back. I don't want to be the one causing the incident. I just want to be in the back and ride along and stick around at the end. That is a smart move by Alex Jarvey.
We're approaching halfway here.
And you see, they're all thinking the same thing because they're single file and they're not going to, you know, here we are, 33 of 76, not even the halfway point. This is what you want to do now, and you know, we'll fight it out later, but you have to be there later, and that means executing pit stops, green flag pit stops.
Yeah, when I race in the Super Speedways and the Super Speedway Series, My only goal is to stay in that lead draft until the last pit stop, and then it's on.
Oh, you're pumped up right now. You're in this group. You're Alex Jarvey in the back right there. You're just going, they're not getting away from me.
Now, another story possibly developing here. If that third group catches the second group, that becomes a bigger group than the leaders, and they might be able to start finally chipping into this lead.
Absolutely, and those numbers mean, like we said earlier, they mean everything, but it also means they need it to go green. You know.
And another key point to tag along, if we're going to talk about storylines developing, is the team strategy in a super speedway race. For any of the viewers watching that don't know, at FSB we have racing teams, and
two of them.
That'll consist of at least up to 5 drivers, and you got a couple of them in a couple teammates in this lead pack up front, and they're in their own team channel. They're talking to each other, unfiltered, uncensored, and only to each other, not talking to the global race here. So they're able to really able to communicate and come up with a strategy, a plan.
And two sets of teammates are in this pack. You got Jeff Hale and Mark DeSenza, and then the 2 car of Ed Fowler, as well as the 06, Will's dad, Bill Farmer.
And then you have to wonder as well if these other guys who are all in separate teams or not in a team, if you think that maybe they might want to band together and say, hey, I know that the front 2 guys are teammates, I know that 2 in the 06 are teammates, but you got those, 4 other wild cards there? If they could all work together and get on the high side, they could definitely pass these teammate cars if they wanted to. But it seems like they're coming up on a lap pack right here. Or not a lap pack, but a soon to be.
Jason, looked forward to seeing you on the track. So what are we looking at as far as when you think they're going to pit if it stays green like this, which it smells green, looks green, it might be green.
I think if we got a pack like this, you're in this front pack, you're pitting with your pack because you want to just stay in your pack. You don't want to split this front pack up. That would be my idea. And if you're one of these guys, who has the extra amount of fuel, you are just there saving fuel. That's.
So what are we looking at? Lap 42 or?
Can't remember what lap we came in at. Probably about lap 24-ish. So yeah.
That would still be not long enough to make it to the end. Obviously.
Absolutely not.
So we look at the scanner. We got something on the scanner here. Nothing. Just.
By the way, look in that right window. If you look in that right window, you can see the gap from the bright green car. From the bright green car of Darryl Flanagan, the gap back to the 15 Pac-Man machine is getting smaller and smaller every time they get in the frame together. So I think those 2 packs are going to merge, and by the time we have pit stops.
Studs like Kevin Mays right now getting past. He's like got to be thinking, I don't know if he has damage, but he's like, what the heck, man? That's how fast it happens.
Well, if you're out there by yourself, which he has been, that's you just get eaten alive.
SOL.
Another great point too is we got these lap cars, this pack that the leaders just passed here. Those guys are now a lap down, but they're still sniffing on the lead pack's draft, which means they're going to eventually, if they could get tightened up, they're going to give that lead pack even more cars, which is going to make them go even faster.
Absolutely.
And spread away. Those guys in the second and third pack are desperate for a yellow flag.
Absolutely. Now Kevin Mays is in the draft, and he's hauling ass now. So.
And you got to remember those guys all, all those guys that just got passed, they're now fighting for the lucky dog. If I'm correct, I believe.
Yeah, I think there should be just 1 lap down. We'll wait for the ticker to scroll through here.
Well, I mean, there's only with the super speedway, there's only so much fight you can have in the dog.
Yeah, Kevin Mays 92 car, that orange 92 Tennessee Vols colors. That is currently the lucky dog.
In the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog, but
Shawn, that was really some sound there, man.
That was my headset mic smacking into the the pop filter on my broadcast mic.
It made a noise, I promise that.
Yeah.
Well, we apologize for last week. We had a server failure. That happens. Happens in all kinds of forms of sim racing. You know.
Oh, yeah, pit stops. Wow.
Pit stops. We got people smoking them down the line there.
That looked like some late decisions to pit, and the 29's in the grass. That could very well be a black
29,
flag.
I think he was the one that was smoking them while he got him.
Yeah, we were over here talking about...
Yeah.
Oh, more
Mike-
cars
Mike-
missing behind them. That second pack. Oh, the second pack tried to pit
Leader
to
has
catch
a
up with them.
caution. We see, is the caution out?
No caution. No caution at all.
caution out.
Jeff Hale posted that in the 29.
No, he was
pressed
going for the wrong button. Oh, that's going to be... Here comes Brad Otto, West Dobbs.
Well, I knew it was going to be around here. I thought it was going to be 42.
We got guys coming out here.
Chris
Gonna be a
Landry,
doozy coming out.
Landry in the Landry floor covering car takes 2 tires and
Now, if you're
private
coming out of
sponsor
this
there,
pit
but that
road
car
here,
is running well.
if you're coming out of this pit road here, what you're doing is you're rifling through those gears, trying to make sure you hit every gear at just the right time, because if you slip up, if you shift into fourth a little too early, you're going to be gone.
Landry coming out right in front of the leaders. Matt Watkins still out there. Mama,
Yeah,
there
he
goes
ran-
that man.
he ran it dry
Landry
last
does a great
time.
job.
And Atkins obviously has a strategy that he is
Well, he
satisfied with.
always does.
So now you're going to see in this lead pack, it
There's
looks like
no one
it's gotten
that
even smaller.
can drive and think better than the 15 car. You know, I mean, I call myself a driver, and I can drive, but then I got to think, too. You know, forget it. You know,
I have a serious question about the 29 car black flag status there. If he has one or not. In fact, I can check.
Scanner, it
I
doesn't
got-
seem
look
like
at-
he's
yeah,
posting that he's going to be coming in again.
Yeah.
So
I
he
can
might be
check.
okay.
Mark DeSenza does have a black flag, though.
Mark
sends a black flag. I'm not sure what for. Probably
my
for speeding.
gosh. This is the nemesis
What
in the
makes you
3
say
car.
that, Shawn?
And our GNL TV rather is listing him as having a black flag on his status.
Wow, very interesting. And he has
Not
3 laps
seeing
to
it
come
on
in
the
and
scanner.
take that.
It looks like he's trying to ride it out and hope that he catches a caution and lucks out or something.
And when you want to talk about the teammate situation, the 3 car is a teammate with that 29. So that's going to, it'll play a role because the 29 is now down 1 teammate, someone he could use for drafting help.
His other teammates, Jordan McGregor, Ryan Johnson, Slim Jim Gately, all of them absent tonight.
Well, Jordan's going to be running the 24 Hours of Le Mans tomorrow.
And Ryan's off go-kart racing in real life.
With me.
And here comes the 3. Here
That's
comes the
not why he
3.
didn't show up. He had family obligations and had to commit to those. But otherwise, he'd have been here. He's definitely going to run both, that and other sims. I mean,
You got
Jordan
this,
is-
Shawn, I don't know if your
it wasn't
cameras are
tonight
catching this
for-
here, but the pack that Matt Watkins is in is just pitted.
Oh!
Yep, they're on the right side there, pitting now.
Big group of pitting cars here. Oh, contact!
Oh,
with
Webb's
the 83 of
around.
Bill Yarborough, teammates for Monster. And what the heck? The 83 goes back out, and he was in contact with Bill Yarborough. Okay, he missed his pit stall.
He misses pit stall through all that contact.
He thought he was pitting next to Bill, and wow, that's very uncharacteristic for the, champion. The 83, man, that was a huge mistake, but he comes right back out with the 54.
And that got the 54 really close to the wall, so if Bill Yarborough wanted left side tires, he did not get them.
So I'm sure that team channel is definitely electric right now.
Now those
Like
guys
Will was saying,
really need a
no holds
yellow.
barred when your team channel, believe me, as a former driver, I know, and as a driver, believe me, when we run Le Mans tomorrow, I'm going to be very colorful on the mic when somebody does something that aggravates me. I guarantee it.
And just to clear things up for the viewers who may not know what we're talking about when we're talking about the scanner here, the scanner can really only scan the public chats, the one that the drivers send to all the other drivers. But in the team chats, those free reign.
We got the boss pitting now, Sam Young, boxing. Yep.
By the way, Brad Otto and Daryl Flanagan and Rick Castle have attached themselves to this lead pack through some excellent pit stops there.
Wow, look at that.
Well, Brad Otto, my former teammate and Fresno, California native, and the...
I stand corrected. They are a lap down currently.
I see that High Line is starting to look into form. You got two cars up there, the number 40 and the 58. And this high side here, this high side here really does work. It works if you get cars up at this track. We've tested it time and time again. I think you even saw it at the beginning of this race. If you get enough numbers up there, you will push to the front of the field.
They will not be able to make it from here. So
no, they will definitely not.
About 32 laps, 30 to 32 laps with this group. You're going to have to... Do you split that in half?
I would split it evenly, yeah.
Yeah, it depends on who you're with and what kind of draft you have. And looking at a pack of four here with Matt Watkins leading, T.G. Reese, and the 51 of Dave Jarvey, your P2 qualifier, and that badass 115 car of Dave Ellens and that Cadillac. That thing is, wow, that's a great looking piece. T.G. Reese, the Skull Bandit. Ding. I'm still not seeing his car.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. I keep not having the time to track down what happened to his car.
Amoco car is what I see, but TG, a longtime veteran and knows, and a great plate driver. I raced against this guy, 15, 16 years ago. He's the real deal. This group needs to get going.
I'll tell you, Matt Watkins, while he has not caught up to the lead pack, he's still managed to pick up spots just through his clean pitting, and he's up to 8th, but he's just got an insurmountable hill to climb.
Looking at the championship this year, and maybe he got some damage early there, but when he runs like this, he's definitely looking for P1 and the trophy at the end of the year, which you've seen me and Shawn's pictures at the beginning of the race. There, dudes like trophies.
Some wise words I got from Isaac Johnson at his class that he runs on Sunday night here at FSB is when he's running a super speedway race, he likes to be out front or in the back. And I think you're going to see Jeff Hale right here. He's loving being out front because
that's the only place he knows how to run.
Absolutely, I would totally agree with that. That would be my same. The only thing I would change, that would be like out front or like 5th or 6th. That's I don't want to be like in the back, but out front you dictate the race. You can dominate the race, and and you can make everybody else. All you have to do is execute, and you can win the race. That's
I call that mid pack. I call the middle of the pack the kill zone.
Absolutely,
that's where stuff usually goes wrong.
That's where the stress is really at.
That's where a lot of the accordion effect comes into play. A little check up in front, ripples back to you. You check up, and the guys behind don't see it coming, and boom. It's the big one.
So Smoke is pitting, the boss is pitting again. The 98 has been off pace all night, and
he's listed as retired from an engine problem, I think.
So last thing on the scanner is pitting again, so he probably parked that car. We'll probably see him on the channel here, which I'm going to step away for a minute and sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers. Hey, Georgie. That's my coworker there. Thanks for watching, bro.
Yeah, Tom Jackson saying the low line seems like the only line. Well, right now it's because it's got the numbers. I mean, see how strong two cars run up there. Yeah, if this line split in half, with maybe just one more on the high side, you'd start to see them, you know, gradually make up room. And also, a lot of it has to do with who leads it and who's pushing in it.
Not only that, but you have to remember too, these guys right now on the bottom, on the low line, they don't want to race. These guys are not going, man, I really want to get into that spot. They are probably so happy being right where they are.
Absolutely.
They're not. You're seeing these guys go around. They're not trying to race here. It's not like they want to race and they can't. They're not even trying. They are just trying to hold their line. They're trying to crunch some laps and they're trying to make it to the end. And sometimes that's what you get here at super speedways, especially when you don't get any yellow flags like you see here at FSB.
Right, and yeah, this is all about setting up for the money stop, which is probably, yeah, it's going to be for all the marbles. One stop to go to the end, and that's when you're going to start to see some moves, some strategy. Hey, Shane Pittman checking in there. Watching from Panama City. Watch that third place NWO car. Yeah, that's Alex Jarvey, that 89 Tim Hortons. We haven't talked about him much since he skated through that early incident. They see he's got that Tim Hortons Pontiac looking good in P3.
Yeah, it's just he's been silently sitting there, you know, just like all these guys. Really, they've just been silently sitting here. Alex Jarvey, fairly new to FSB.
Yeah, making some brown noise there in P3 in the 89 car.
Yep, and but he's fairly new here to FSB, and he's really shown what he could do in a short period of time. He's won a couple races.
Yeah, picked up some wins. Some good finishes all around.
And he's getting a lot of broadcast time for that Tim Hortons machine.
Absolutely. Makes you want donuts and coffee. Meanwhile, I mean, I've had the same cameras up for quite a while here, so let's see if we can cycle through the field. And Matt Watkins continues to lead that second pack, but they're just falling further and further behind. He is 13 seconds back in 8th place. Oops, hit the wrong mouse. That's what happens when you got two mice next to each other.
This is just one of those things right now where you have this front pack, they're hoping for no caution, and everybody else is begging for a yellow.
Yeah, see, there's the rest of
Monsoon. Nobody wants to be the one to cause it.
There's the rest of Monsoon.
They have to execute that last stop, and they have to execute it together, and that means not running into each other and hooking up after the stop. Ladies and gentlemen, you're running 192, 195 miles an hour in a draft, and then you got to slow down to 55 miles an hour at that line. With cars all around you, you got to execute that. Get in your stall. There's nobody going to do it for you. It's not like, you know, like NASCAR heat or whatever, where they just pit you automatically. You have to do it. You have to be your pit crew. You have to execute. You have to know how many tires you're going to get. You know,
you have to select how many tires you're going to get. That's pretty important. You don't want to take 4.
I screwed that up trying to change it at the last second too.
Because the you know, that's different than other tracks because tires are such an issue. Not an issue here. And also, they're not going to be going for, you know, you're not going to get a full tank here. So you got 20 to go here. They're coming up on pit stops. You got to figure out how much you've used and how much you're going to need to make it to the finish. Well, you were in this race, so what do you think? What they're going to look for? Obviously, a can. You're going to go 2 tires.
I'm not exactly sure.
If you go a can, you might go no tires. You could go no tires if you get a can, and and you will be out faster than everybody else.
I think they're going to have to take more than a can. I think they're going to be looking at a can and a half and maybe even 2 full cans. I think you get around 18 to 20 laps of fuel, and these guys sit on lap 40, I believe, right? Lap 40. So if they come in at lap 60, that's going to be 16 laps of fuel. You're probably going to wind up taking either, like I said, a can and a half or 2 cans. You're probably still going to want to take tires. But like you said, you don't have to, and you'll be okay out front.
But, you know, safely, if you got that much fuel you got to get, then you get 2. You remember what's the last time? Ideally, your last stop, you want to get left side tires on your last stop. Why? Because it happens faster. The fuel is right along the line of getting 2 tires. It's not like other tracks where you don't worry about the fuel fill because you know you have to get 4. But here, your fastest pit stop. Oh,
Jeff Hale all by himself.
Yeah, Jeff
all
Hale
by himself.
Called it. He called it at the last second.
Nothing on the scanner. Very.
Yeah, he posted something, but it was late. I promise. Yeah,
my
it was
bad.
pretty late.
My bad.
Oh, that's going to cost him dearly, as he is going to lose a huge amount of time pitting all by himself.
But I'll tell you what, you got that whole front pack. They're all coming in right now. This is the money stop that you were talking about. This is it right here. You got to execute. You got to get onto the on a pit road, get into your stall, make sure you're arced out properly, take your tires, your fuel, and you want to get back out on the track with the rest of these guys.
66. Oh,
nice.
Smoked them in there. I don't
Here
know,
comes
man.
this front pack coming down right now. You got some guys that stayed out, others came in.
66 just smoked them through there, but I think he got down to the line. We'll see.
Looks like
NASCAR
the
will let
05
us
got
know.
1 tire onto the grass, but he seems to regroup here. These guys are coming down pit road pretty slow, but at 55 miles per hour.
Now, a couple stories I was trying to touch on before, but we were talking about other things. The rest of Monsoon, not named Matt Watkins, they're all together. Pops Markson in the 99, the 54 Bill Yarborough, the 83 of Steve Weber after their pit road kerfuffle. They're in their own pack. And then the last car on the lead lap.
Waiting on fuel. He's revving that car up. The Western Auto number 40 car gets out and he gets past, but
and the last
pretty good stop for Christopherson.
Car on the lead lap is Mark DeSenza after that penalty, still 40.9 seconds back. So he really needs the caution.
Bill Farmer looking strong with that Valvoline car, makes another great pit stop, and he's off and running right behind the 89 car of Alex Jarvey.
And so look at this front pack here. You got Ed Fowler, the 89 Alex Jarvey. You got the 06 and the 40. And the number 2 and the 06, they're teammates. They're talking to each other right now. I know because I'm on their team.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
We talk a lot about strategy in our team channel. Usually it winds up with us saying, let's just see what happens. But we do talk a lot about strategy. And right now, these guys are going to be strategizing pretty hard. Their problem is they're going to have these 2 other guys, the 89 and the 40, who aren't going to want to play along with them. I promise.
No, they're not teammates, but they are in the current and Racing Channel 1 together right now.
They can make it to the end here now, huh?
Yes, this is the last stop.
Yeah, I was definitely wrong about that. So,
well, you're right. They couldn't make it to the end before, but now they can.
Okay, yeah. Mr. Bojangles dance. I mean, these races are so hard to win, and Ed Fowler is exemplary dude and racer and friend, and man, I'd really like to see this guy win this race, but he's got his hands full.
Meanwhile, Jeff Hale, after that disastrous solo pit entry, let's see where he's fallen back to in the 29 Tide ride. He is currently 10th. He is now the last car on the lead lap.
Well, I think without his teammates there, like Will was talking about, that puts you on an island, and he was obviously hoping and expecting the rest of the guys to pit with him, and they said, "Heck no, we're gonna deuce you. We got another lap, so we're gonna put you out of the picture because you're a legitimate threat." You know.
You have
And
to remember
believe me,
too, there,
they're
Milt.
thinking about this.
Another point to bring up is when you're out front like that, you burn more fuel.
Absolutely, yeah.
You burn more fuel than the guys in the pack because you're not letting up in the front. In the front, you're full throttle around these high banks turns.
Absolutely, yeah.
Matt Watkins has come in for his final stop.
Need a caution now. They need a caution, and you know, trends like Larry Mack talks about in the real racing. Trends are you might get one. So generally, these races go long green flag runs, but then things start to ramp up towards the end, and you see this pack and. But now they're going too wide, which is generally what starts to happen. The lead studs these guys want to win this race, so follow me and I'll bring you to the promised land. That's what Christopherson's doing on the outside there. The 40 car is, you know, I'm just amazed watching this guy.
Another note is
just
Johnny
waiting
Doucette.
for him to get his due. You know?
Johnny Doucette, who's also been pretty quiet, is here in P6.
Absolutely.
Is being
Another
pushed
guy
by
like
that 124 car, which I believe is a lap down, if I'm not mistaken.
But
Right?
but is his teammate.
But is his teammate, exactly. And lap car or not,
Well, that's
that
what you
124 will push that 58 car to the lead.
Several of my Talladega and Daytona wins were having Jim Ray behind me, a lap down, and pushing me and working as a team. And, you know, I couldn't have those wins without my teammates. This plate racing like this, that, you know, I mean, of course you got to execute, but then you need some help, you know.
You see, Mark DeSenza is caught and put a lap down there,
Bojangles.
along with Joe Weaver.
Dance. Well, you can't imagine what this feels like as a driver, especially when you have great expectations every time you enter the track. But now at this point, these guys are tired. It's been a couple hours now on the track, and they're tired, but
Well, it's been about an hour.
That last stop. Now all you got to do is drive. This is a huge weight off the driver. Now he's just focused on defending, and you got to execute and hit your marks. Make them go outside. If they gang up on you, then you got to, you know, Alex Jarvey's all over the back of him, trying to put that pressure on, which, like I said, this is the most pressure-filled type of racing. You know, road racing is, you know, short track, it's pressure-filled, but there's nothing like plate racing. You can't see. You can't see good enough. You have to feel the guys. I don't care what kind of rig you got, triple screens or whatever, you still gotta feel it and then execute your line.
Plus, a tiny mistake at a road course or a short track, it costs you ground on the car in front of you. Probably doesn't cost you your position. Tiny mistake at a super speedway, if it doesn't wreck everybody, can still put you back 10, 15 spots as you get freight trained.
Constantly hear that motor in your... let's go in car a little bit here.
Let's go. Let's ride on board with the Highwayman, because he's looking to make some moves here.
Yeah, let's go with 89.
I was talking about Christopherson, but okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Happy birthday, Milt.
Hey, thanks, boss, man. What's up, man? Tough luck tonight,
No, tough luck has nothing to do with it. How about just pure stupidity? I'm out there running 196 miles an hour with these guys, helping them get up front and helping them get up. They're lined up, and we're doing a great job. And at 55 miles an hour, I wrecked two of the monsoon guys, and it's just sad. I feel so
Well,
bad.
you know, as the owner operator, you know, like Jim Ray always, you know, I mean, that's a lot of pressure on you to perform, but at the same time, you know, we're all human, and yet we all make mistakes. And, you know, the guys understand that. You're out there racing. And,
I don't think I'm going to be welcome in the monsoon garage for a little while. I'm just saying.
you know what? If it wasn't for you, this league wouldn't still be going. Then, of course, Jim Ray. But you know, he experienced those same kind of feelings trying to, you know, there's an added pressure as a owner-operator to drive like you expect everybody else to drive, but at the same time, everybody has to understand that you're human and we make mistakes. Sometimes you screw the pooch, you know.
It's hard to mess with these guys' point battles though, and that's what I feel like I'm screwed with a little bit tonight. But anyway, these guys are setting up for a badass finish right now.
In fact, now we're on board with the 40 cars. He takes another look on the high side.
Car with the 40.
The highwayman looking to get some help.
My sound is real loud, so I'm going to talk real loud just for a minute here. So I'm going to go in car with the 40.
And they're trying to make that high line work. Looks like Bill Farmer wants to lead it.
That you hear, it's so loud in the car, you can't even hear yourself think. You're looking in the mirror, you see the car in the mirror. Now, these guys aren't like flat out. They have to lift right here, lift a little bit.
Yeah, to keep off the car in front of you.
Is going to get that run. So if you're going to give a guy a bump, you want to give him a bump before. Yeah, but you don't really want to do it here. Never.
Johnny Doucette to the lead.
Best part. Oh, the 124 gets into the wall there. I mean, this is a dance. You're totally focused here. You're screaming on your pit. Because you can't hear nothing, you know, at least he gets down to the inside. This is your view. All you see is the deck lid. It's like driving on the 405 freeway, and he goes back outside.
He wants to help Fowler.
He's got to lift here, because he got a huge run with that draft to Bojangles there. He's got to back off.
Getting some help from the lap down 3 car, Mark DeSenza.
Okay, so enough yelling from me, but that's sorry there, but I get a little excited because I know how badass and how intense that is right there. So I'm back on the regular view here. I'll be quiet.
Yeah, I'll put up the side by side. I've dropped the volume on the capture card so we can stay in car and not get blown out here by the sound. As Kristofferson gets a run on the bottom, he's going to hit Johnny Doucette really hard, trying to push him back to the front.
Yeah, you know, you got about a 70 car battle now, and now you're going to start to see guys thinking about that highlight. You know, I'm in this group.
Lots of lap cars in the mix.
Well,
the teammates
they're going to be in there too, so they're thinking about teammates, and if their car is good, they're going to definitely help their teammate.
The teammates of Ed Fowler and Bill Farmer are hooked up.
76. Alex Jarvey, he's never won here before on Friday night, and he's trying to race that. And how about that 58 car? We've talked about what class
and Mark
this guy
DeSenza.
has.
Mark DeSenza is just dropping out of the pack here. Doesn't want to affect the outcome.
Well, absolutely. If he's got a teammate, he's going to pick him up, but I don't think he has a teammate in this
He's
mix,
out of teammates.
So that's a classy move from a classy veteran. That's what we're talking about here. These guys understand the implications here. Alex Jarvey, man, I know that feeling, what it's like with a few laps to go. Johnny Doucette wants this so bad, too. I mean...
Meanwhile, Matt Watkins, while he still can't catch the lead...
What a class act he has been through good and bad times, and the 40 trying to go. You got to defend low here now, though. You cannot give a guy a reason to go under. You have to make him go high, and then if the outside line gets better, then you have to defend the outside line. Right now, you have to stay down low. Alex Jarvey down at the bottom. Don't give him hug that line. There you go, boy. You got lap cars here trying to get out of the way. Oh, he's going to have to go high on the 70 there.
And then split pops on the bottom.
They hold their ground, which is what pros do. I mean, they got caught up in a whirlwind there. That's a great job on the lap cars. You know, high, low, you don't know. I mean, there's no written script for this stuff. You know, you have to. Main thing is hold your line and let the guy behind you know what you're going to do. Alex, you need to stay down low there, defend. And he is. Defend low, son. Come on. Make him go high.
Here we come to the white flag.
Make him go high. Defend right down by that yellow line.
Last lap, Milty.
Come on. 58's going to do something here, but he would definitely be happy with a podium. But the 40 Christopherson, I mean, 3 players here that are extremely great pros, but haven't gotten, this chance to show with, Matt Watkins, Rick Johnson, domination here tonight. This is their show. What are they going to do? Got the outside line. If I'm 58, I want to pull up. Pull up to the outside line and let the 40 come with you and diss the 50.
Here comes 40. Christopherson's got the run on the high side. He's got a huge push. Remember that start-finish line? Remember what we said about where that start-finish line is? It's going to be 3 wide at the line. 4 wide. 4 wide finish.
It's the 40.
The 40 wins. Fowler and Doucette wrecking across the line.
Christopherson does a great job with the draft. Wow. Woo. That's how you finish Talladega right there, man. Are you kidding me? Wow. Oh, my gosh.
Hey, you guys, I'm sorry I left. I had a spot for my team.
That is totally understandable. Will, did you see that?
I saw that. That was incredible.
Look, this is FSB Racing. You better, if you're going to show up and watch us, you better watch the end, because we're all about blah, blah, blah. And then at the end, you're going to see these pros put on a show, and they did. The 40
Did you guys
car.
See the stories coming together at the end there? The teammates working as teammates. The 124 helping out Johnny Doucette.
And there is your photo of the finish at the line. The 40 car of the Highwayman, Jim Christopherson, barely a bumper ahead of Alex Jarvey. And then Johnny Doucette in the 58, getting together with the 2 car of Ed Fowler, 4 wide at the line. 5th place, Bill Farmer.
Jarvey did what I would have done, except, except nothing. I mean, I would have defended that line low. I did not expect that outside line. I expected more push from the bottom, and they lined that up perfect, and there's your start finish.
All drivers.
Line. That's about 4 feet, folks, with Johnny Doucette and the 2 going by.
Yeah, let's just watch that entire last lap again there.
Let's watch it again here. I'm about a 3-second.
It's gonna be more than that, Milty. I turned change the latency settings. Just do it on your replay. But we're watching down the backstretch. Christopherson's in 3rd on the low line with a push from Rick Castle. That high line.
Okay, I'm going to back it up a little bit.
High line was coming from the 06, the 2, the 3. We were talking about Johnny Doucette popping up, and the first one to pop up, though, was the 40, which got him to the right side of Doucette.
Okay, at the line.
Jarvey tries to block.
At the line, the 40 just edges by him.
Through the tri-oval.
Oh, my gosh. Are you kidding me? Could you?
Yeah, Christopherson was 4th.
kidding me?
Christopherson was fourth before they entered the trioval turn and wins it coming across the line.
I'm telling you,
What
that cat is hungry.
move.
I promise you, he's hungry.
What a
that's
move. He is still
fantastic.
burning it down. Tell that boy to get out and save his replay before the server kicks him.
Dude, I'm telling you, I've watched his young career at FSB, but not his young career in sim racing. This guy's a badass. He's been there, done that, and he's gotten tonight. He got to show you what I'm Jim Christopherson.
And I approve this message.
And I approve this message. Absolutely.
Oh,
Now you
Milty.
get to know who I am. And he just did it tonight. What a fantastic win. Are you thinking, kidding me? I mean, wow.
We've got two of our top three finishers here. We're just waiting for Johnny Doucette. Is he still connected?
Can you have a better finish than that? Great pro sim racing, and
Looks like Johnny Doucette is not available for post-race
we've
media.
seen what Jim could do, and we've seen how
You
he's,
should pull up that
know,
number 2 car instead there, Shawn.
Yeah, there you go. Ed
what
Feller
he's
credited
shown
with fourth there, right?
humility, and tonight he gets to burn him off and smoke him if you got him. The 40 car is your winner.
All right, so
Heck yeah.
we got our second place finisher there, Alex Jarvey.
What's going on?
Man,
Wow.
you did everything you needed to do there.
You did everything
it just
I was
yeah,
telling everybody
yeah.
on the broadcast you should do. And
First of all, let's
You
take it back
lost
to all the
by
way to the
4
beginning.
feet, dude.
Let's take it back to the beginning there and how you got through that wreck without damage.
Yeah, I was almost through that wreck, and then I got tagged from behind, and it caused me to spin. I checked my F9 right away, and I didn't have any damage, but the car didn't feel 100% after that, so I'm not sure what happened.
I think it's probably because you fell into that second pack. Sometimes it changes it. It fools you into thinking the car is damaged because you're not in the lead pack that's going full speed, and you're around other damaged cars.
I
So
never lost the lead pack.
Okay, well, there was a time when you were split a little bit, though.
I fell back once, but I kept the draft.
Yeah, a little off sequence, though, that happened, though.
Yeah.
Well, once I saw you in the lead right there, I was thinking, what I've done in the past, and that was defend the low line. And I kept saying, defend low. But, this track has, which we love that, has the outside line. Everybody waited till that last lap, and then they really joined up against you. But you still had a great pack behind you, and it was like 4 feet. I mean, you did everything.
You've got to see this finish, Alex.
But,
Yeah, I looked and checked the replay. That's kind of a heartbreaker, but you know what? I knew something was going to happen on the outside. I was just waiting for it, and unfortunately, I just waited too late.
I mean, you could have pulled up and wrecked everybody, but you didn't.
Yeah.
And thing is what we've seen from you since you've been in the league has been exemplary driving skill and car awareness. And tonight you got to show it. You just came up a little bit short, but you're a class act. I mean, that's apparent. You raced it clean, and you lost by 4 feet. It sucks.
Yeah,
But,
it's a heartbreaker, but you know what,
You
Jim?
got my ultimate respect, dude. I'm telling you.
That was a hell of a race. They knew you were there, man. That was a great run.
I had no intention of wrecking anyone, and Jim's a clean racer, and he races everyone as I would race them. And he I don't think he's had a win yet. I think that's his first win, so I'm happy.
Well, at least
for him
since
that he
coming
got it.
back. Yeah.
So tell us a little about, you're new to FSB, but you've run in a lot of leagues. So you're a pro, man. There's no doubt about it. You've run in other leagues. You've probably won a lot of stuff. There's no way you couldn't have done that.
I've been racing this game since day one, but I took about a 10-year hiatus, and I came back earlier this year, and I've always wanted to race in this series since I saw the broadcasts, and I want to win one of these on Friday one day.
I know that feeling, Alex.
Hard to win, man.
Great run, man. And by the way, your teammate,
so much respect, bro.
your teammate Shane
Great
Pittman
job.
commenting there on YouTube says he's about to get kicked out of his condo on vacation there for screaming for the whole last lap.
I'd be doing the same thing, believe me.
We were screaming in the booth.
I'll be yelling and screaming at people, that's for sure.
Well, let's get to our fourth place finisher there, Ed Fowler, and our pinch hit admin. Thanks for doing that tonight, Ed. Great call on the track change, and thanks for stepping in. But, man, you gave it a shot there on the last lap, too. Tell us about your run. It was a bit of an up-and-down night, too.
Yeah, we were good all night long. Bill Farmer and I got making some pit stops together, and the whole front group was just making great pit stops and led some laps, and then they got around us, and I was hoping that they would try to break on the backstretch a little sooner than what they did so we could get a push, but it just never happened. I tried. I gave it everything I had.
Awesome run there.
Awesome
and again,
run,
thanks for pinch keeping the show running tonight while Ryan's off go-karting.
Yeah,
and that's all we got, right? We don't have to talk to anybody else. There's oh, wait a minute. Jim Christopherson, the highwayman. On his return, how long did you have that plan formulating, percolating that little strategic mind of yours?
No, it didn't work. It worked out the way it worked out. I wasn't planning to do more than just finish with the lead pack. But tell you what, man, what a time to get my first FSB win.
Awesome.
Yeah, first Friday night win. I know you've won some other races because we had some great battles in the FSB Cup and Truck Series in the past.
Well, you know what made this really special tonight is I had an inkling about this race. I thought it would be a good race. I didn't know how it turned out, but I knew it would be a good race to watch. And my dad, who's I think 88 years old, I called him up before the race and I said, hey, you got to tune in FSB Racing and check this out. So hopefully he's watching from Rochelle, Illinois. Hi, Dad.
Well, if he is, he hasn't commented. We do have 17 still watching.
Yeah, but
they stuck around after that one.
The replay on YouTube, and well, you know, you've just been exemplary. And instantly, I saw you. I mean, this guy could drive. He's good. And tonight, you got to show, like I said in the broadcast, you got to spread your wings and show what you had. And those moves like that to win a race like this, I mean, that's like real TV stuff, you know? I mean, that just doesn't happen as much as you think in sim racing. And tonight to plan that out and get the draft, and you won by like
it was a bumper.
You know?
It was the space between the front wheel and the front of the bumper cover.
That's incredible, and you know, shows the skill and patience to have, you know, bad luck, which you've had, you know. I mean, and to race against a pro field, and then to make it happen and get the win, I mean.
And it just so happens that our winning paint scheme tonight is one of the cars that's up on my shelf right above me as I'm broadcasting and racing every night. DW's Western Auto. And I got the diecast right here on my shelf. Just pulled it down and stuck it on camera.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, thanks you guys, too, for the broadcast. Milty and Shawn, the way you guys put it on, it's awesome. And thank you to all the racers and to Sam for putting on this league. And I'll tell you what, it means a lot when you race these guys because these guys are great racers, every one of them.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, congratulations, man. Thanks, and thanks for putting on the show. I mean, it's easy when we got racing like that to cover. That was a lot of fun to watch. You guys had one caution tonight, just that one caution, and then it was all green flag the rest of the way. It all came down to the pit stops. Yeah, and 76 laps of almost uninterrupted green flag racing. It comes down to that. That's why we love Talladega. That's why we love FSB. But you guys are the best.
Crash, you know,
no server crash. No, we don't. Thank goodness we don't have to toss salt over our shoulder for saying that because the race is already over. But yeah, it stayed up.
You know, I mean, we expect we pay for that stuff. So
yeah, you know, stuff happens. Stuff happens. It's a 17-year-old game. But man, congrats again, Jim Christopherson. Great race. It's always been a pleasure racing around you. Great to be able to call your first Friday night win there. And of course, strong run from Alex Jarvey, Johnny Doucette, and Ed Fowler with the pinch hit admin in the fourth place finish there. Hey, it's a half Canadian, half US top four there.
Well, it's
it's international, baby.
It's like I was saying. we have our regular guys that been here for a long time, won a lot of races, but these guys like Alex and Jim and Ed, we're starting to see, these guys are stepping up. And
Ed, have you updated the points yet? Ed?
Yes.
Has the points been uploaded?
They have been.
Excellent. So that's current right there. I just refreshed it. So Matt Watkins retains the point lead, 35 points over Mark DeSenza, who actually moved up a spot.
Mac, but still a good finish, and he's definitely...
Yeah, he brought that home in the top, I think, 7th place.
Jordan had to miss tonight because he had family obligations, and tomorrow we're running the 24 Hours of Le Mans together. So,
well, awesome. Yeah, awesome one
awesome,
tonight,
man.
though. But yeah, you see Jordan McGregor drops those 2 spots. Dan Irvine also wasn't here tonight. He drops a spot.
Fellas, I got to go to work. Y'all have a great night.
All right, thanks, Ed. And Ed's also putting on that IndyCar series tomorrow.
We'll
Thanks for that.
Bro.
Yep. Take care, guys.
Adios, guys. Thanks a lot.
Oh,
All right, take it easy, Jim.
Thanks
yeah,
a
we're
lot for the broadcast, guys. You guys kill it every week.
yeah, it's great fun. Thanks again for putting on the show, man.
Glad I could be in here for good reasons.
Absolutely.
I know that feeling too. Thanks. All right, so we'll just wrap this up here. Thanks as always, my broadcast partner out there in Fresno, California, the other side of the country, Milt Minter Jr. Can't do it without you, buddy.
The West is the best, baby.
And yeah, East Coast. I don't know what the sign for that is. I'm not hip like that. We don't have a cool. We don't have a cool. What is it like? There you go. Like that could be the shocker. I don't know. But yeah, thanks again, Milty. Thanks all the drivers out there for joining us. Our top 3 finishers there, and of course, Jim Christopherson with the win. All those guys put on the great show. Thanks everybody for joining us out there in YouTube land. You guys caught a great one, man. The viewers have picked up. We've got 19 now, and we had 17 when the race ended. That's how good this finish was. They all want to go back and see that again.
Well, you get like 130 by the time it's over, So
thanks, Ed Feller, for filling in the admin for Ryan Johnson, our usual series admin. Thanks as always, Sam Young, league the league boss, for keeping the lights on and keeping great racing like this coming at you every week. Yeah, we couldn't do that without Sammy and all the drivers. Thanks, everybody, and we will catch you next week. Let's see what that is. What is next week? I got the forum up on my other computer here. And... oh, the scroll wheel's all screwy on this mouse, sorry. Next week is... this was Talladega, Montreal. Oh no, we're going to change Montreal. We're going to run Watkins Glen next week. So we're going to change it up. Going to go from the super speedway to the road course next week.
Gosh, I wish
that should be fun too.
I wish I could run that race. I'm telling you.
We got to get you working again, man.
Yeah, because I could do some road race,
Yeah,
but,
he's pretty good. I've heard good things about Milt Minter. But thanks again, everybody, and for Milt Minter and FSB Racing Live, I'm Shawn Reap saying good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you